The organizational structure of FITA is quite similar to other international federations in the sense that, first of all, our members are the national federations, member associations. We have 139 at this moment. And okay, they meet every 2 years in a congress. They elect our council. The council will make an executive committee. And so it's quite similar to other associations. We also have continental associations. A little bit different, I would say, is that our executive committee has a rotation system, which is quite special, that you wouldn't find in other organizations. For the rest, it's quite typical for international federations coming out of the early 20th century and not much different. We are now working to see if we can modify the structure, but since it's quite embedded in the history of international federations, will be a challenge. Well, it depends a little bit on what the decision is about, of course. For rule changes, for instance, we have two types of rule changes. The laws which have to go to Congress, that we can do only every 4 years. For what we call the bylaws, really how you implement the laws, that we can do even by a postal vote in 24 hours if necessary with our council. So it depends a little bit on what type of decision. Of course, there's other decisions related to marketing, television and so on, and more operational decisions that are taken at the office. Well, I started in sports administration, now I would say 18 or 19 years ago. First as volunteer in Belgium, in the National Federation. Then got involved with FITA in a committee. And then I would say just at the moment that it was getting too difficult to combine as volunteer with my professional work, FITA was looking for, at that time, an executive director, and that's how I got involved. Well, it was, I would say, a second time I came to FITA because I already had a role before, and I think I would want really to learn from the experience from the first 6 years at FITA, and then also based on the experience I had gathered at the World Anti-Doping Agency, having seen how other federations work, and then based on that try to, I would say, bring FITA to a higher level. Well, I would say the best strategy so far was putting in place our World Cup and everything around that, our marketing program, our television distribution, and I would say that's really been the biggest success so far. Also, I'm very happy that I've been able to build a great team, both here in the office but also during our events, which is really, I would say, the motor, the engine to those events, and that makes it successful. Someone who rarely gives up. I will keep on pushing, and I also have some other people working with me that are the same character, so that makes it sometimes challenging, but I think it's important, especially if you're in a smaller sport, to keep on pushing, still believe in what you want to achieve, and then you get what you want. I see FITA in 5 years' time being a much more important Olympic sport, being a sport that has a true professional circuit with professional athletes all around the globe, and also with two very distinct disciplines. At the moment we are a little bit have a problem that we have the compound archers and the recurve archers doing exactly the same thing. In 5 years from now I'm pretty sure we will have two different disciplines with different athletes, of course, and different types of competitions, media and so on. Well, I think being diplomatic, that is an important characteristic one has to have, because you're working with volunteers, you're working with professionals from different countries, different cultures, so that's an important tool to have. Then I would also think combining being wanting to make changes, but also being realistic with a system in place based on a congress. You can't always make the change the first time you want to make it, so you have to be patient at the same time. So that's finding a good balance, a good harmony between many things is important. Well, only one way to achieve your objectives as such, and that is hard work. Making sure to check on a regular basis that you're going in the right direction, also making sure that your staff and your volunteers are going in the same direction, and a lot of work. Well, several ways we use to evaluate past performance and make sure that we go in the right direction. We do a lot of questionnaires at our events for our athletes, also for our officials. We do, with our team, we check after each event what are the things that went well, what didn't go so well, and see how we can do corrective action. And it's really making a good analysis of what happened. Well, the Olympic Games are, I would say, a day-to-day business now, because every day there is something happening, accreditation, ticketing. We have our event director who just left to Beijing today for a meeting. We'll be going there again in May. It's clear it's a daily activity, Beijing now. Well, the biggest challenge in Beijing, I think, is how we present our sport. Chinese culture is a little bit different than what we're used to, so making them understand how we want to present our sport, that is a challenge, but I'm sure with the right people we will get to it. It's important to cooperate with other federations, to synergize with other executives here in Lausanne. It's a unique situation with so many federations present. And I think there is an understanding between most of the federations that it's, although we are competitor, there is a friendly atmosphere, and there is a real wish to give information to others. And we've seen in many areas, from, I would say, courier cost to how you work with TV or with sponsors, there is a real, I would say, wish to share information, and so that people don't make the same mistakes all over again. The most enjoyable part of the job is seeing people win. It's so much fun to see an archer shoot a 10 and see him win the competition. That's fun. It's real good and really emotional from time to time. That's Well, there would be many, but I think first of all, don't give up, even if it's always sometimes difficult. The other thing is, I saw once in an airport, perfection is hidden in the details, and in the world of sport that is often the case. There's small details that can make the difference between a successful event or a very bad event, and so that's something you need to have a lot of attention to the detail, and yeah, and for the rest, there is so much happening in the coming years in sport, the Youth Olympics, there's many other events coming up. I think there will be something for everyone.